right, today I wanted to just talk briefly about finger positions. All right, finger positions on the mountain dulcimer are very important because the way our frets are spaced out, some of these stretches can be really big, okay? And I find that a lot of people want to ask me about this and want more information about it. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm just going to play something real simple and just do it a couple of different ways and talk about it. Now, I was just doing a simple 101 A5 chord there. But you see, I used different fingers to come over here. I used my thumb in some occasions, and then I used the index finger. And I also used different fingers to do the A chord. Now, why am I talking about this? Because it will affect your speed as you play faster and your smoothness, okay? So what you want to do is, as you're playing your songs and learning them, you really do need to live in your song a little while and experiment with different ways to fret your chords and notes. There are people who love to use their thumb, so their hand will often be in this formation. And you see there's a big reach there. And there are others who like to play without their thumb. And I like to do a combination of both. I'm not one or the other. I like both. So when I hit my G chord, for instance, using the 3-1-0 configuration, bass, middle, open, 3-1-0, I like to use this right here, my index finger and my ring finger. And that's what's most comfortable for me on that chord, right? And it's pretty much the same for the mirror of it. But occasionally you'll see me bring in the thumb if I'm having to do something else after it. So it really depends on what you're doing before and what you're doing after it also. So there's just a lot of things to think about. And you don't want to just sit here and try to, oh, well, should I do this G or should I do this G? Or no, do it while you're playing your songs, while you're doing your exercises, while you're doing everything. That's when you experiment around with it. Say the first time through, I'm going to try it this way. The second time through, next time I hit that chord, I'm going to try it this way. And I'm just going to kind of play around with that and feel what feels good to me, comfort-wise, and what enables me to get to the very next thing quicker and smoother, okay? So that's the main point behind all this. What orientation can you use that is most comfortable and smooth in changing to you, okay? So while this lesson is short, it is still sweet because there's a lot of different things you can do. So for instance, this D up here, I like to play it with my index and ring finger. And when I go to the G, it's just a very small movement for me. But other people might want to play it like that, you know? There's a whole bunch of different ways you can play all of these chords and get all these stretches and reaches. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're playing fast, when you're playing faster on the melody line, it's really important where your hand is for these notes. So it isn't the best thing to do to play it all one finger, okay? You want to use multiple fingers and you want to think about where you're going next. I know that I'm going back up, so that's why it's okay to be here. So when I'm on the first part of that song, you'll notice how my hand position shifts. When I know I need to come and play down here, I will bring the index finger down here so that I've got room, okay? So with shifts of our hand as we're going up and down, that's what we want to do. All right, so I didn't want to take long with this. I just want to give you some examples and talk about it with you. Finger position is important. And as you gain speed and confidence, and as everything gets smoother for you and works out for you, you're going to come to a point where you can't go any faster because of the transition. Your hands are not wanting to make the transition. So that's when you really will start having to think, okay, what's a faster way for me to do that? I mean, you do it split second in your mind, but you're like, how do I get from here down to here faster? What's the best way for me to do that, in other words? As you get faster, those hand positions will mean so much more to you as you go. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed that. See you next week.